Now, this is a major one. It actually happened last week, but I didn't talk about it. This was the talk of the town. This was the talk of Pakistani social media. Apparently, this Pakistani actress, for once, this was, the roles were reversed a little bit. This time, there's a Pakistani actress whom I believe comes from a very progressive family because she dated this white German dude whose name ironically was Christian, and he was supposedly from that background, but he fell in love with her, and you do anything for love. So, as usual, she was progressive enough to date him, but wasn't progressive enough to marry him as a Christian. So what he did, he moved to Pakistan, became a very successful, probably already was a famous, a vlogger, as however you like to call it. He became a Muslim, converted. He converted to Islam. This guy, look at him. What a little pretty handsome man. And she's not bad either. Anyway, so they looked good too. They looked cute. So, they looked kind of cute. He looks a little bit like young Cristiano Ronaldo. But anyway, so this young, handsome German gentleman, so he criticized Pakistan. He criticized Pakistan because, as you know, when the Israeli-Palestinian conflict was happening, a lot of Pakistanis were like, let's nuke Israel, and, saying all kinds of horrible things. Not knowing that if you nuke Israel, you're going to kill all the Palestinians as well. Anyway, these guys are not really Harvard graduates, so let's just go with that. So he comes from a German background. As you guys know, Germany has this guilt, and they have raised an entire generation on this guilt that what they gave to the world, like, was a disaster, and he became the reason for suffering for not only Jews and gypsies and homosexuals and disabled people, but also a lot of Russians, a lot of Europeans. A lot of people suffered at the hands of one madman called. So Germans actually have this guilt. I remember I once met this German girl at a bar, and I was just curious about history, so I just thought, it'll be a good icebreaker to just, you're German, okay, so, what do you think about it? All of a sudden, she just looked angrily at me and turned around and just walked away. Maybe it wasn't a nice place to talk about it, about a club or a bar. So anyway, I've noticed that when I did go to Berlin, people were very uneasy every time you brought up. So that is his thing, right? But Pakistanis don't care, for them, they're kind of like Americans in that sense. They think the world doesn't exist outside of Pakistan. I guess every country is a bit like that, but, but mostly obnoxious and arrogant people are usually like that. But anyway, besides the point. So what he said, I had to adapt to this culture, i.e. Pakistan, and you will have to admit to mine. You tell him, boy, you tell him. Honest and constructive criticism. Infrastructure-wise, Pakistan is a third world country. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a third world country. And it also suffers immensely from pollution. These are facts. Doesn't mean I hate the country or its people. German vlogger Christian Betzmann. So what he did, and this is obviously afterwards he said that. So he criticized Pakistan for its anti-Semitism. That's what he said. He said that Pakistan is a third world country. We need to work on building its infrastructure and try to, show the positive image of Pakistan. And I love it. And not only just that, he will actually say it later on as well. He said, I had to adapt, blah, 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 blah. These are the factors. I mean, I hate the country or its people, kind of like me, what I say, that I criticize Pakistan for, because my intentions are to make it a better country. But it doesn't mean I hate them. But anyways, it's always good when it comes from a white boy. They might listen to it a bit more. I have also never insulted any religion or its prayers. Prayers are beautiful, but without actions, they won't be as effective, especially when there's a war, referring to Israel and Palestine. This is all based on the statement that your opinion on social media doesn't matter. So basically what he said, people were saying, pray for Palestine, pray for Palestine. Oh, Allah, please destroy Jews. That's what these guys were praying and creating those trends. So he basically just said, stop this anti-Semitism. Guys, this is not cool. Hello. Anyway, and then he says, the prayers are useless. he basically said, guys, you gotta act on it. Like, imagine when you just wake up every day and pray, oh God, please give me a brand new house with a, sexy Lamborghini with a really nice girl in it. It's not gonna happen if you just sit on your ass all day. So anyway, so that's what he said. And people are so triggered. They said he made fun of Islam. And this is exactly what his fiancée said. I think she just caved into the pressure. Honey, you're not going to get a boy like that again. Look at that. So she said, Chris Betzmann has landed. So I took to Instagram and she said, it's with heavy heart I am announcing that Christian Betzmann and I are no longer an item. His sudden change in stance towards my culture, my country, my people, and my religion, I have decided to end the relationship. This is what she basically said. So, this is how... Guys, this is why I despise religions. Now, imagine you're sitting one day in your relationship with your other half, with your partner, with your wife, with your fiancé. You're sitting down and you just end up having a disagreement over, let's just say, Israeli-Palestinian conflict. You're saying Israel is on the right. The other person is saying Palestinians are in the right. So you just have this. You just have the dispute, and all of a sudden, the argument turns into, "I'm divorcing. I'm getting a divorce, honey." And you write that on the divorce paper. Disagreement over Israeli-Palestinian conflict. We are separating, and the judge would be like, "Sure, guys, is that it?" I mean, this is more trivial than I am leaving my wife because she gets mad with me for leaving my undies on the floor. This is more trivial than that, because that torture has to exist every day. But this is one-off argument. You can move on from it, right? So it's only because of religion, because of religious differences. The guy is coming from here's what he says. He said, when I had my shahada, I have learned that Islam is a religion of peace. So the poor guy actually converted to Islam, but obviously he's not going to change overnight. He's not going to be brain dead. He's exposed to other free thinking societies, so he knows what's so wrong in saying that. But anyway, I think he learned the hard way, and I think this serves as a lesson. Don't give up your mind, don't give up your country, culture. Even though I'm the least nationalist guy, I'm the least culturalist guy. I'm all for globalization, and I'm call myself a global citizen. I'm all for that, but never go down. But the problem is, once you become a global citizen, you have to marry those people or get in bed with those people. Actually, no, you can get in bed with anyone, but for serious long-term relationship, you need to find a like-minded person. If you go into these cultures that are so heavily into protecting their cultural, religious identity or national identity, it's not going to go down well. And that's exactly what happened with this guy. The poor guy ended up leaving his religion, but he's a free-thinking Western man. But I like the fact that he actually, he actually put the thumb down. He said, I had to adapt to your culture. Now you will have to adapt to mine. That's it, boy. So anyway, he got pretty upset. The poor boy. He said, "Look, I'm gonna take." He was in bed. He loves Pakistan. He went to the slums of Pakistan to try to film them and put them up on YouTube, and ended up getting sick. And he loves Pakistan. Blah blah blah. But now, because of this, he's gonna take a little break because now he's heartbroken. And yeah, well, poor guy. Also, by the way, I love it. Look at this. When I see the social media comments from Pakistan, I don't see peace. That's a very good point. Yeah. I'm in Pakistan. Oh, we are a religion of peace. Then in the very next sentence, they say, behead those who insult Muhammad. How is that peace? Peace has a totally different meaning in Pakistani vocabulary or Momineen's vocabulary. We have to make sure that we represent the religion in a positive way across the world. Now, that is what I love. I love it when a Western convert who converted to Islam over a Sheila, over some girl. Oh, I'm all for it, but no, actually, I'm not for it, because if you're not culturally compatible, then it's going to end up as a disaster. Especially if one person is not very open to other cultures. So anyway, I love it when these white folks who convert to Islam and then they tell us native people who are born into this religion, and they tell us, hey, Abdul, wait a second. Michael is telling Abdul, hey, Abdul, Islam is a religion of peace, dude. You shouldn't act like that. And then he's going to get the one in the face from Abdul, because Abdul understands Islam more. I have learnt that now, because I try to understand Hinduism, but then I've learnt that now that I cannot understand Hinduism because I'm just not born into it. No matter how much I read into it, I just cannot understand that. So there are I can understand Christianity more because it's a bit more similar to Abraham, like being an Abrahamic religion. But anyway, but you can never understand it the way you understand it if you grow into it, or if you're born into it and you grow up in that environment. So, but here are these Michaels telling Abduls what true Islam is and what they should do or how they should promote Islam. All right, I think this is it. I think I've done enough, spoken enough. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.